Hi everyone, this is Evelyn, and this is my message of the day and my 7-deck read, which is on the table. We're going to roll the die as well, but first I'm going to go ahead and take a few deep breaths. So go ahead and take a first deep breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And thank you so much for being here and joining me. So we have the message of the day first. I'm going to roll the die, and then we'll get right into that. For the Twin Flames, today is the 5th of August, 2022. Today adds up to the 19, so yesterday was the 18 of the moon, today is the 19 of the sun. From the Emperor into today, which is the 5, is the Hierophant, but also change, freedom, and expansion. For the Twin Flames, August 5th, 2022. Okay, we have Neptune here, very dreamy Pisces energy, as well as Scorpio here, which is funny because my Pisces and Scorpio children are here with me. They don't usually live at home, so it's a very nice weekend. And here we have the 9 of the Hermit, which is me, Virgo. So, which is also the 9, it's the one and the all, it's the collective, compassion, endings. Okay, so very Virgo, Scorpio, and Pisces. So 2 mutables and a fixed. And very much that energy of family coming together as well, which came up in the read as well. So, all right, let's see what we have here. This is my message of the day. It's the 3 decks of Metatron. The top deck is Metatron, middle deck is Nature's Whispers, the bottom deck is Shaman Dreams, and the left column here is the underlying energy, the cards that came out across, and then at the end there's a pile of cards that I had to count, and I'll tell you how that went. I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer just to get the details of the cards, because they do have a lot of details in them. Okay, put that over here. All right, so my Metatron deck read. So as soon as I started, when I finished putting the cards down, it was basically 10:01 or 2 to 10:06 this morning. The 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, the 1 and 2 is the Masculine and Feminine, and the 6 is the Lovers. So there you go, that high vibration of the Lovers. And the underlying energy was Atlas, the energy of the Beacon, or 44, for the first deck. And then the second deck was Trust Your Own Understanding, which was 32 of the Journey. And the third deck was the Feast of Plenty, which is about consequences of your actions, and the number 20, which is the Wake-Up Call. The grounding, integrating, and mastering of receiving love, letting go to start again, to trust the journey and the wake-up call. The Rainbow Bridge of the 27, which is the Ace of Wands, that inspiration, that third flame, and jump to the 19 fire, the Dragon Breath, waiting on the other side of the bridge. In the Union Void of the 48, of walking away within, or leafing instead of leaving, leafing, that floating on the leaf as it goes down the river or falls from the tree. To rest and pause, the 46 of the authentic self, the inner children loving each other, the key to who you are. At 10:14, the Wheel of Fortune and the Temperance card of patience and balance, the angel of that higher love. The 44 of the Beacon, receiving the waves to light up, the electric waves drawn into the magnetic mountain, causing the mountain to light up, while the dragon stands guard at the gate, allowing this to happen. The first card out was Akashic Records, number 12, which is all about the hangman and wisdom and seeing new perspectives. And so I opened a page from my numerology book, and it opened up to page number 81. It was actually 80 and 81, and it was all about the number 2 and the number 2 combinations with the other numbers. So like if your life lesson number is number 2, it was combining them with somebody else's life lesson number 4 or something like that. And I saw the number 2, right, the header first, and then I went right to 2 and 4, which is the 2 of the High Priestess or the Divine Feminine and the 4 of the Emperor. And what it said was, not between 2 and 4 is no competition or friction. In fact, you bring out the best side of each other. There's great harmony and understanding in whatever endeavors you undertake. 2 harmonizes and coordinates, and the 4 plans practical basis for solid foundations. Both would do well in home building, real estate, farming, and other related professions. And then I was guided to turn the page back to the 1 and the 2, because the card was the 12 of the 1 and the 2, which was on page 79, which is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And under the header of at the top of the page was the number 44, as we were just talking about 44. As the career number, it's the farmer, builder, doctor, nurse, the dietitian, the soldier, politician, banker, businessman, or social worker. At 1024, a helicopter went over. The 10 of the high vibe and the 24 of the Queen of Wands are the Omega energy, the end of the cycle. But this energy of the 1 and the 2 must contribute to the world in a substantial material way, which is very much the twins coming together. The 1 and the 2 plans. So the 1 plans and is intuitive and a leader, and the 2 is the tact, the cooperation and support, the perfect complements of the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. The 52 card then came up with the Queen of Swords and Big Bird, the pillar and opening the book, lighting up the chakra system with wings out. The Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, or the Divine Feminine she learns to be the grounded pillar from the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine learns about being the activated Big Bird from the Divine Feminine. She opens his wings to expand, and he grounds her and teaches her how to receive love, together becoming a human with wings, with an open book test of wisdom. The 32 of the journey from orange to gold, the Queen of Wands to stretch and lunge, destined to balance the King of Wands, or 23, when he is off balance. In high vibe, new dawn coming together in the valley of the sun's phased arrays, and allowing any purging in the sunset of each day, when held by your reflection of ancestors in the horizon. So then at the end, when I usually have to count a pile of cards for a number, it actually stopped at 10 cards, but then when I felt it again, it continued for another 6 cards. So it's coming up as the 10 of the destiny and the high vibration, and then the 6 cards of the lovers, which totals 16, which is the tower and that sudden event. The first pile at the bottom of it all was the ancestors, which we just talked about in the sunset, the 34 of the energetic exchange, and at the top of it all was the 15 of the shadow, and gaining clarity of the shadow by showering with diamond light when the shadow comes in, purifying the Page of Wands, the 26, the Magdalena shell in the life bulb or the womb, clear the baby with mother's love, present with gift, and Sirius aligning. Sirius is coming up here as the 3rd flame of Betelgeuse and Bellatrix, the twins standing on the shoulders of Orion, using Orion to elevate themselves to a higher vibration. So again, using the dark, it's alchemy, to create the light. And very much the Bellatrix is her other name is the Y, which is the symbol for gamma, and then Orioness. And she's 25 million years old, so Bellatrix, the feminine, could come up as the Knight of Wands. So at 11 o'clock on the dot, which is double zeros behind the 11, a lot of source energy backing up the 11 of alignment, justice, truth, and balance. So like using the diamond light to clear the shadow, we're using Sirius light during this portal of 8/8 to heal as the mother at 11:01. The diamond light is clearing the throat chakra, and the Sirius is clearing the third eye, and then crowning together. The double diamond of the twin flames and the Sirius mother may be misunderstood as dark and blue. Mother Mary, who's Sophia, so Sophia is Phi, and then the A is the human embodiment of source connection to another. So the Mother Mary, who's Phi, in connection with the sun, finding the key that has an aura or is illuminated. She left him this key on his path to the sun, that sine wave home, through the bridges, overpasses, and castle steeples, over the hill with natural boundaries of nature and a higher love. Patience and balance to set boundaries daily, and the King of Swords, 51, of purity and innocence, as we are soon moving through Virgo, after Leo's call home. The father son is standing there at the door waiting, and the mother is holding you within. Waking up with family to get your wish at sunrise, with the 42 of that one-to-one connection with each one, going with the flow on the whispering bench, the canoe down the salt river, smoothing out those stones along the way. The canoe takes you with the water, as opposed to the bridge, which crosses it without getting wet. So why did the chicken cross the road? Well, he was looking for a source of water to fill up. The 41 of the Ace of Cups, as above so below, is reflecting in compassion and self-love as a wake-up call to align, the clarion call. Yeah, it was really weird too. I noticed last night and today, those of you who normally listen, I've been having some plumbing issues this year since my water heater broke at the end of October last year. But I was hearing some a little bit of kind of a toning after I would turn the water off in the pipes, and I'm like, all right, what's going on now? It was like whispering last night and today, but it sounded like a horn, like the clarion call of the ancestors, bringing everyone home for a destined reunion. So then there were 6 cards more, the 6 of the lovers, of course, but it's also love, family, and community. And at the bottom of it all was the Thanksgiving card of having Thanksgiving each day. And that's 47 of the synchronicities and options. And then at the top of it all is the number 4 of the Emperor and stability, balance, building structure, and the energy of the home. But it's about letting go and release, the fall of the leafing, the 9 of the Hermit running with the big bird, the Chariots of Fire, where movement is needed here. The Emperor and the Hermit getting their wish, as the 53 of the Knight of Swords is tying the family back together and locked at the roots. The 54 of the Page of Swords and Mercury, the messenger, with a message of the purple moon, the 0 point, and the Grandma Castle in a cloud with higher realms and magic, where Atlas is the inner child with the weight of the world, asking for you to hear and know them. So go within to your heart, where it's Thanksgiving every day with synchronicities, variety, and healthy food. And again, the clarion call home for destined lovers in a sudden event with the 10, the 6, and the 16. Destiny of the lovers and that sudden event of the 16, which can be an epiphany and a sexual exchange as well. At 11:35, which is Justice in the Wounded Warrior, the underlying energy in this deck is getting your wish. Getting your wish of hand fasting, purging to empower yourself, and self-love to be in service to the little seahorse with the octopus teacher on the journey of trusting your own journey. So think of how much an octopus would love to be able to to be with their child, but they die when they give birth. But it's that energy of being that octopus teacher and having that wisdom as you teach little ones. Self-satisfaction and wisdom in purging to love and be loved on this journey. Hovering above the earth and seeing it through your filter. And the first card out is the 31 of the 5 of Wands, and being spontaneous to reach out, perhaps to play. With the 23 of the King of Wands, that you are worth it, King of Wands, your vision of what could be, with 7 candles and blossoming horizon, and the 39 of the Knight of Cups in a clear endeavor of a blanket of snow or winter wonderland and the northern lights, perhaps planning a place or a trip that works for everyone at 1141, justice and love, self-love, spiritual love, and new love. 1142 is the 2 of Cups with the 18 and new experiences and possibilities of the round table and the vase of flowers with butterfly and horse avatar, an explosion of beauty and growth and freedom, where opposites come together in the purple moon, that perfect complement energy. The 28 of the Twins and that choice of path, and clearing up the ethers for a bountiful harvest in coloring our world. The 13 of the Transition, and at the bottom of it all was the 17 of the Star and infinite blessings, and at the top of it all the 15 of the Shadow, to catch your breath by hugging a tree when you're suddenly feeling ungrounded. And first make a wish and then blow for summer to fall, the dandelion, the lion magician, to the 35 of the Wounded Warriors, culmination of their vision of that Wounded Warrior's path and leaving it to go on the Fool's Journey. The 36 of the Atlas energy and intuition. And today again was coming up, at last my love has come along, with brain on fire and crown open wide. Your intuition, which is coming up with the Intuit people at the North Pole basically, and their connection at the top of the world, in a sauna as you are the Northern Lights. And then 37 of the King of Cups and the unconditional love, the ideal course of action in bridging opposites to the middle. And the 3 cards came out in a row, 35, 36, 37, the Wounded Warrior, Atlas, and then going into the new cycle of the Cups energy with the King of Cups and unconditional love. The 11 of alignment, truth and balance, to make a decision to open your heart to your destiny and to that high vibration of swans coming together where love matters. As the bird opens up and the old ship sails, the 9 of the Hermits, perfect setting, painting a pretty picture as the sun peeks out from behind the clouds. The 3 of the Empress, to celebrate differences in abundant way, where the unicorn mother energy meets the dolphin child in the northern lights of Gaia, allowing the change and clearing out the old, the dark and the dingy, in a pause to ground. The little fairy girl touches the tree in order to ground and brings infinite blessings. The winter wonderland comes true, or frost across the land in a big transition, from clearing to sprinkling fairy dust. At 11:56 is justice in the 2 of Swords, of being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear, or perhaps pretending because you don't want to deal with it right now. The 12 again of the Hanging Man and wisdom and seeing new perspectives, and the wise dragon's hoard. It's like holding, it's like holding a child in your belly, the way the dragon's curled up in this hoard. The 23 of the King of Wands and the Fortune's Wheel, where the King of Wands has the luck and the right timing, of the 58 of the 4 of Swords, the grounding of the 5D union by smashing the mirror, the ego sublimation, and CERN smashing particles, closing the door of freedom, the 5 of freedom, expansion, and change. And it was also coming up in the words on the cards for Vani, a whispering bench at just the right angle, after feeling low in the feast of plenty, which is the wake-up call, and lucky communication, sharing 2 swords in a stone, with a crystal and a bee and a feast of plenty, choices and their consequences. And the number 58 came up there again as well. The King of Wands in the 5D connection, who's freed now in a wake-up call. It's like the CERN smashing particles, like I said before, that whatever dark agenda there is around CERN will backfire and actually end up helping us. It's like a blessing in disguise that they weren't prepared for. The King of Wands no longer sleeping with Taurus Aquarius as CERN broke the false mirror and closed the door, causing a wake-up call, that number 20. The Queen of Swords 52 is straddling worlds, 1 foot in one and 1 foot in the other, with the 38 Queen of Cups, with many masks of her authentic self, and the 51 of the King of Swords on the bridge, seeing stars in the sky and the limitless possibilities therein, and the 33 of the joyful muse and inspiration, the music, which is the muse of the inner child, and standing up for oneself, with the wailing tree, the 59 of the inner war, a way to release and reconciliation, with the inner child who's crying for your attention. The 11 of justice, truth and balance at 1208, which is the hanging man, and the dance, the strength, the manifesting of your dreams, in the deep quiet of alignment, with truth and balance, meditation and stillness. And by the way, at the Feast of Plenty, it was 12 o'clock right on the nose, and a helicopter came by very low, as I wrote after feeling low in the Feast of Plenty. That second time the helicopter came by really low. There's been a lot more helicopters, like I said, at the beach the other day too. The Queen of Swords is aligned with a wake-up call with the horned cactus, who's dry but very resourceful, and the 29 of the 3 of Wands being present with gifts and natural protection, and the 43 of coming together of overflow in extreme emotions of abundance. The mother with children and the father with children who balance each other out. The Queen of Swords with justice of the Queen of Cups as gifts, and the King of Swords with abundant joy and the unity of the King of Cups of music and unconditional love. The Magician's sword and confidence in your magic, all in reconciliation between the inner war and unconditional love. And then happy days came up. The King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, in a wake-up call to align with 26 cards now, which is the Page of Wands and inspiration. And at the bottom of it all, the 55 of the farther gate. And at the top of it all is the 53 of the Knight of Swords and the stranger. And 55 is the truth. The curiosity about diving deep this stranger has. And the Knight of Swords with laser hands, seeing his reflection in the water and surrendering within, the 48 of walking away within, to the sky dancers, the butterflies, the orange sherbet, and Beetlejuice, or guys. Beetlejuice is Beth-El, the house of God, and then the juice, which is Jews, Je, and then 2 U's. So the house of God is I, 2 U's. The 50 of the 10 of Cups and the spirit of the river, and the family fulfillment, moving to adventure. The 21 of the world, completion and wholeness, and the first breath, the beginner's mind, in listening closely to each planet and what it has to say, in transition with flying monkeys who've been trying to hold you back and put you back to sleep, the 60 of peace and the watchers with peace, the 1-to-1 totems, where Tony the Tiger says, they're great. And coming up with number 8, 2 piggybacking in Desert Storm, enlightened at 12:21, as the horseman delivers news of change, of union and Om, of the divine feminine cosmic womb lover, and the 26 of the Page of Wands innocent child, who causes a gathering around in the power of community, in the 44 of the perfect storm, back to where you once belonged, the raven and peacock, and the courage to step into life on the eagle's perch or platform, destined to dive deep underwater this time, and then up to the sun to collect the chaos of the sun. In the hand, the universe is your partner, of orange and yellow again. The 47 of the sky bridge and the possibility for a union, with synchronicities, the sun and heaven in your eyes, building a bridge right before your eyes. It's kind of like how the pyramids were built. All of a sudden, there's no need for a bridge anymore because all of a sudden, there's a pyramid there or a bridge there that just magically appeared before your eyes. And also the orange and yellow was coming up as two different things. Betelgeuse, because it used to be thought of as yellow long ago, and now it's considered a red planet, but it's really orange. But also comes up as Ganymede, which is the moon of Jupiter, where the mothership is stationed, that's come in recently. The 47 of the 7 of Cups, and heaven in your eyes, synchronicities and lots of choices, of the sky bridge and possibility for union, with synchronicities and heaven in your eyes. Again, building that bridge right before your eyes. The 49 is the sky writing and the fates. The hourglass on its side, which becomes the 8 of the infinity, with the K of energy, and then the M and the F of the masculine and the feminine, and then the flags, like at the end of the race, as the hourglass becomes the infinity, with energy of Taurus and Orion, because they both look like Ks, the divine masculine and divine feminine at the finish line, as the hermit number 9 dances on one foot. She's very good at a balancing act with the green moth, adept at toe, as her toe is right on that fine line, and the Knight of Wands at the Garden of Venus for rest and renewal, as the Emperor's cat ER pillar for opportunity, the cat unraveling the spine, the whispering bench at the ER pillar, and the wall of the 56 of knowing and keeping your eyes closed for peace of mind, and putting up a wall. A window to the 63, which can be suffering in silence, but it's just the winter's dream, the gestation period, the pregnancy, to the 18 of the eyes of the eagle, and the purple moon and rising above, with the 46 of the little root girl here, the disowned self, the little girl part of you at the very bottom of the trunk of the tree, right at the roots. At home with the 27, which is that Ace of Wands of inspiration, at home to become inspired and with compassion at the same time. In a group think with the Page of Cups, bringing the innocence into the group. The 42 of the 2 of Cups and 1-to-1, the netcaster, whose preparations have come to fruition now. And the whale's song of the 61, of taking that risk with deep emotions, resonating with the risk of the sea portal at the deep blue sea, able now to connect with the 55 of the root of the shaman, and that's also the Excalibur energy of the Ace of Swords, of the truth of the farther gate, the cave that's now blasted open, in a bold step forward with 2 gates and 2 suns, as the knight in shining armor gets to the bottom of it, with abundant blessings and the magic of his sword, and the Excalibur at 1246, which is the hanging man and the inner children hanging out together. So of course this has to do with Lionsgate as well, the 2 suns and the 2 gates. I was just getting Bill Gates too, for some reason. I don't know if he's in the news or not, because I don't usually look for it unless I get guided to go read something. So, and then I was guided to this website, earthandstarryheaven.com, about the constellations, where Betelgeuse is a reddish star and one of the brightest. So it and Bella became the time markers, since when they appeared on the horizon at twilight, it was a sign that days were getting longer. The importance of this in the land of the midnight sun, and midnight sun means that there's sun 24 hours a day, and then consequent winter darkness is obvious. So this was the paragraph that came up as soon as I was putting in actually Betelgeuse and Bellatrix was Sirius. And also there was a note in here about the planet of the apes, that the astronauts thought they were on a planet orbiting Bellatrix. And Betelgeuse is an overheated star expected to crash into a wall of dust in the next few thousand years, influenced by Mars and Mercury, right? The aggression and communication. And then Bella is the lion, and she's bluish white and 6 times our sun. The Alcott tells us, quoting from this website, that Bella is the natal star of all destined to greet military or civil honors, and rendered all women born under its influence lucky and loquacious. The Intuit people, who come up here again on Baffin Island, separate Beetle and Bella from the rest of the constellation, as what I told you the other day, 2 placed far apart from the constellation. She is very calm, as opposed to Betelgeuse, who is not, and expected to burn down to a white dwarf, just as our sun is. And then they went on to information about the summer triangle as well, with Altar being the eagle, who tore out Prometheus's liver every day, which liver's been coming up in my world for sure this week a lot. And it brought in my grandmother. There's other issues that we're dealing with, but yeah, something that definitely came up connected. It was very interesting, so I do want to bring that up. So the liver holds anger, and my grandmother came up regarding another situation, and it was very interesting because my grandmother struggled a lot. You know, she was in Poland, and you know, they were very poor, and her parents had died. She was orphaned when she was 10, and she had a much older brother and a younger brother that she actually took care of in the sewing factories when she was 10 years old. But she somehow made it to France. And I think she went through like a palace where she worked sewing in a palace as well with the, it was like an Arabian palace, like she literally worked at. So she had, I'm sure, had a very adventurous life. But there was anger because my father's father, who we didn't know wasn't his biological father until about 10, 15 years ago. And when my grandmother was dying, she told my father on her deathbed that his father wasn't his biological father. And our father didn't tell us until we found out accidentally, because my brother was interfering my dad with a legacy type questionnaire about his father, and he's like, oh, he's not my biological father. And we're like, huh, what? Like, so this was our grandfather our whole life. We had no idea that he wasn't our biological grandfather until then. So my grandmother, the man we believe was our biological grandfather, was Konstantin Tretyakov, which happens to have a picture of him, and he looks very much like my dad except for the eyes. Like, his head's the same as my dad's head except for the eyes. But the energy is coming up around the anger of her not being able to be with him. It's like that twin energy, but during the war, and she was a Jew and he was, Russian Orthodox. There's no way they were going to be able to stay together in that kind of environment. But I'm getting the energy of them both coming in again in the new babies. And there's that energy of the liver, because she would have stored this anger in the liver and bringing that new anger in the liver energy through, as well as the fact that she used to force us to eat liver all the time, which is, what she was known for in our family. So yeah, there's this big thing about liver right now. So let me know if that's affecting you as well. So, So the eagle who tore out Prometheus's liver every day for giving humans fire. Hercules rescued him as part of the 11th labor that he had to do, and killed the eagle. So Zeus then placed the eagle in the sky as an honoring to the eagle. And the book Urania's Mirror came up around Aquila with Delphinus, which is Deneb, and then Sagitta, which is the Sagittarius constellation. And also 3 steps of Vishnu came up there, moving earth to heaven in only 3 steps, which is coming up like what we're doing now, away from the demons who had taken over the earth. And then from fanpop.com, Sirius and Bellatrix, the prisoners, and they were bringing up Harry Potter here, prisoners of Azkaban for over 10 years, and both depressed, overly familiar with battling for their sanity and hope against their Dementors' oppression. Sirius actually pulled through, but Bellatrix gave in with hope that Voldemort would save her. Both were elitists by birth. They were cousins here. I didn't never actually watch Harry Potter all the way through, so I don't know the story, but it was coming up in relation to this. So both of them were elitists by birth, but again, Sirius had, left his family because he didn't agree with their elitist ways. But he, at the same time, still felt hurt that they had rejected him. So there's that energy of the twins again coming in through Harry Potter. And also this expression they used, they said it took Sirius an age to fall, so like forever to fall. And through the veil leaves room for interpretation, so he didn't actually have to die. He just crossed the veil. So maybe he didn't really die. It has that Jesus and Mary Magdalene energy as well. So now back to the 7-deck read, which is on the table in front of you, which isn't a real long one today. And here is the picture of that. All right, so here is the 7-deck read on the table from the SIRIAN Starseed deck. And then here is the read with all 7 decks on board. Okay. So this was done at 6:14 last night, and 6 is the Lovers, 14 is that higher love of the Temperance card. And that was just coming up with getting over self and coming together in joy. And then at 6:20 is when I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck. 6 is the Lovers, 20 is the Wake Up Call, the Judgment card. And then at 6:33, which is the Lovers and the Christ vibration, or standing up for oneself, the 7 of Wands, the word orbs came up, which has to do with thoughts and words. It's the swords energy. But it's also, orbs is also blind men and orphans. And then the love and partnership was coming up along with music in the read. But partnership was broken up into PA and artnership. So it's again like the art mercy ship of Christ. And PA was coming up regarding the Father, but also could be Pennsylvania. It also could be like a PA system coming up for you. And music, coming in over the PA system. I finished clarifying at 6:44, which is the Lovers, and the 44 of the 4 of Cups, which can be boredom and apathy, but also grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love. The major arcana here, as my cards were tipped up a little bit there. The major arcana is the Chariot, the Shadow, which is the Devil, and Alchemy, which is the Temperance card. Before the read is Luna, or the Moon, and the Wheel. Excuse me. There were 5 swords, 2 cups, and 1 pentacle, which is 521, or 52 of the Queen of Swords and 21 of the World, or even just the 5, the other way is the 5 of the Hierophant, which is also freedom, change, and expansion, and then the 21 of the World, the 2 of the High Priestess and the 1 of the Magician as well, with the 5, which is the Hierophant, which is like someone marrying the 2 and the 1. We have the Queen of Pentacles as the main character in the read, and before the read was the Queen of Swords and the Page of Wands. After the read, the Page of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So very much variety there in the different elements. As far as the numbers go, there were 22, 44, and 55 were all doubled. So 22 of the Fool's Journey, 44 of that 4 of Cups card of grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love, and then the 55 of the Truth of Excalibur, the Ace of Swords. We also had the 24 of the Queen of Wands and 45 of the purging process of the 5 of Cups, right? Grieving loss, regret, guilt, shame, the past, etc. And then we had the 12 of the Hanging Man, the 23 of the King of Wands, 34 of the 8 of Wands and Arrows of Love, the 56 of the 2 of Swords of being in your knowing, keeping your energy clear, and the 10 of the high vibration, as well as the 8 in a lesser sense of the dance and the manifestation of your dreams, being strong as well, of course. And the code line was all about love, partnership, and music, as I said, and the number 14, which reduces to a 5. So here we have the 14 and 5 again. The 14 of the Temperance card, the 5 of the Hierophant, which is all about that patience and balance, angelic energy of that higher love. So this was interpreted a few ways. The key of the sudden event, or the southeast, or seeing the time out of the moral man to the nth degree, to ace the 5D connection, the love of the PA partnership, or RT, that could be a technologist, an RT nurship, the path of Christ mercy ship. And I was just getting, I didn't write Musk, but music looks like Musk here. So Elon Musk is coming up here as well. So there may be an Elon mercy ship as well. But music, again, music coming up as the muse of the inner child. So it's also coming up as Z. So Z means anything to you. It was coming up by itself. Or the time out for the dog, the stone, the neighbor, the brother, cousin, the sibling or sister. The moral man to the nth degree, or wheel, the nipple, offering a fest. Or a rest, rather. Offering a rest or meditation or even sleep. A he love, mercy ship, which is coming up as the path of the mercy ship, and the muse of the inner child. And the third interpretation was the key of the number 7, which is also the chariot, the feminine within the masculine, ascending. The key to place or set to the nth degree, patience, balance, and that higher love of the blind man and the orphan. He, father's love, mercy ship, the muse of the inner child. So we start the read with the 10 of Swords upright. And beneath that, over here, I can't see really well though. So over here is the bottom of the deck and the little cards on top from the mini deck. And beneath that is the 2 of Wands reversed, the Queen of Swords upright, Luna reversed, or the moon, the Page of Wands upright, and the Wheel of Fortune upright. No options for the Queen of Swords, perhaps deceiving the Page of Wands or vice versa, deceived by the Page of Wands, destined to end the pain or a painful ending. And the King of Cups was below all of those cards reversed, in need of their twin flame. And the Queen of Swords with Cancer in their chart perhaps inspired destiny to end the pain or in a painful ending. Or the King of Cups reversed Cancer is between the Queen of Swords and the Page of Wands and their destiny. And again, there could be a betrayal here, or a painful ending or ending pain, but being happy alone with perhaps the advice of someone, and that can be your own advice as well as the King of Pentacles with Capricorn in their chart, or detoxing in separate spaces. So kind of like being able to go to your separate corners when you feel the need to be alone. Sharing and then separating. The Knight of Swords reversed, perhaps holding their tongue with still having something to say, but holding their tongue, about starting over with the King of Pentacles upright, implementing a plan to cut down the cherry tree or take down the family. The heat was coming up here, but I wrote heart by accident, so the heart was coming up here as well. The heat is on or the heart is on. Don't touch, it's hot. As fall approaches and back to work or school, or the tree came down in a storm, and the King of Pentacles is dictating how to clean it up. The 4 of Swords, sleeping, rest, the 5D connection, and the Page of Pentacles, studying or looking at opportunities to grow their finances without working so much. Or the Page of Pentacles dropped the ball, dropped the act, or is breaking patterns and needing to align with work that they enjoy, or can split between a job where you can really work anywhere, between the country and near the water was coming up. Or the Page of Pentacles is also that, trying to get something off the ground, a new kind of business or new manifestation, or trying to focus with a lot of noise upstairs, unable to get their work done with all the distractions. At 7:30 is the Chariot and the 30 of Union, or the home, with romantic feelings, and beneath that is engagement, and confessing only after the fact, or caught in the woods, or caught with their pants down, the King of Pentacles Superman needing to swallow their pride with secret passion, or the man with two women, or having the best of both worlds, right? It's the card depicts, you have the Lover's card here, you know, it kind of depicts the pure one and the slut, basically, right? The man who wants, you know, the lady in public and then the whore in the bed kind of energy there. Poor judgment or no announcement, or Aquarius reverse needing to follow their intuition about the man with two lovers. And this could also be two girls, you know, they could be his children that he loves, but maybe, you know, they're very different too, and maybe having issues with some of them, but the need to protect them. Or Aquarius reversed and Pisces reversed coming up. At 7:35 is the Chariot and the Wounded Warrior with butts and feet. A pile of flesh. And this pile of flesh looked so weird to me, the way it was coming up. And then later, I think it was this morning, I saw when I just opened up my iPad to look something up, there was a picture of a bunch of dead sharks that were taken, you know, in a place that was illegal to fish for sharks. But what I saw in this card looked just like that pile of dead sharks. So butts and feet and a pile of flesh or fresh catches and a cat or stinky feet. I never promised you a rose garden. The judgment is not in their favor, for dark one without keys, and then Cupid knocked some sense into him about growing roses or getting some female help. There can be a nudist colony here as well, with Cancer reversed and Libra upright, Virgo upright, Capricorn reversed, Aquarius reversed, Pisces reversed, and Gemini upright here. Forgiveness comes up very significantly here, and beneath that was self-love. So forgiveness is 96 in this, or 86 in this deck, right? Nope, 96. 96 in this deck, which is a reflection of the 69, which in the cards is the Ace of Pentacles. So self-love comes up as 61, which is taking that risk to self-love. So secret passion, maybe investing in forgiveness, or after lack of integrity, investing in self-forgiveness. Perhaps spoke too soon, or somebody choked after a sudden event under pressure to get the job done, with two bucks watching them. You know, that can be like two bosses putting them under a lot of pressure as well. The Aquarius and Scorpio both reversed, and the Atlas King of Cups, as I'm losing my voice, is celebrating or drinking alone, or chef's toast, or honoring of some sort, but not expressing what they really want to say about the victory. So it's like not the honoree, but the people who are honoring him aren't speaking their truth, right? They're just saying what they're supposed to say. So the one with the good news, the attention, the reputation to uphold, chin was coming up, or unsure what they were getting themselves into, or were undercut, or the smart-ass or sarcastic remark understood only by the so-called honoree. Like, so if someone's getting roasted, maybe the joke was only understood by the person telling the joke and the honoree, that the other people wouldn't have gotten that. There could be a winery here, or a barrel of monkeys and laughs, or roasting so the sheep can get them back, or herding sheep literally. The journeyman ending pain, or in a painful end, coming together for hip hip hooray with new information or clarity to make a decision, losing patience and waiting for Chariot that's coming in with big love overflowing, challenged by the Four of Swords, and rest, the 5D connect, and facing fears, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed with Capricorn in their chart, in need of peace, and the Divine Feminine Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, with the Divine Masculine in the Bat cave coming out, and the Page of Cups reversed in energetic exchange with the King of Pentacles, who's feeling rejected over and over and over again by the King of Pentacles, so the Page of Cups. And that could be the Divine Feminine as well. So the Emperor reversed is stepping down to take a load off, or retire needing to swallow their pride, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community dysfunction, or the Emperor reversed, confessing poor judgment of the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community. And at 7:59, which is the Chariot and the Five of Swords, that inner war, recently is the Chariot upright in a bold move to end pain and bring good news. The Queen of Cups without options, with a dependent or dependency, and powerless to move or visit, or coming together to get over a loss, regret, the past, the ego, the ideas, the awakening, and looking back at the King of Cups reversed, not fighting for the Page of Cups reversed, lover or child, or no conflict between the King of Cups and the Page of Cups, both reversed, because they have the same issues, but with great affection for or from the Queen of Cups, Cancer. So is Cancer upright, Capricorn reversed, or Pisces reversed, and then Gemini upright here as well. And the foundation is the Three of Cups upright, being stressed out or not sleeping, unable to function due to heat, or because just so tired, or defenseless to the energies coming in disconnect or at a distance, and letting go, or the need to repair something new, or fix up the place, or perhaps make amends. At 8:31 is the dance, the manifestation of dreams, being strong within or without. And again, after being hurt by the player without an excuse, or in disconnect, not seeing eye to eye, and letting go to fix or make amends, and coming together in joy. The central energy is the Ace of Cups upright, showering of love after the Page of Cups reversed, or Pisces reversed, perhaps rejected by the King of Wands upright, and depressed Knight of Cups reversed in a losing battle. So here's the King of Wands surrounded by the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, both reversed or depressed. Perhaps an honoring of the King of Wands, but perhaps the children aren't feeling it because it was at the sacrifice of their attention. Maybe they're not happy for them because they never get his attention, even though all these other people that they know nothing about are getting lots of his attention. The challenge being the Four of Swords, resting with clarity about commitment to the awakening, or Taurus upright and Pisces or Capricorn reversed, and the Magician reversed, insecure or manipulative, perhaps without tools, emotionally, or without physical tools to deal with Taurus, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and walking away or leaving. No longer on the fence or being led at the gate. The Ten of Cups is reversed with the Wheel of Fortune upright, destined, unhappy family, or ending an emotional cycle that is destined here, or is going in someone's favor. The Fool is upright and free to leap, as the wounded warrior is to surrender, with the Page of Swords stepping up to the plate to come together with the Knight of Cups who's reversed, a fallen angel. The King of Swords reversed at the workplace, it's very busy, or just a lot of exchanges or messages, but open ends here, like it's like a whole bunch of stuff that's not been answered. No reply, new replay, or no feedback. And now is the Shadow reversed, detoxing after work with unhappy family or saying goodbye, defenseless to energies closing in, and releasing all at the same time, keeping their cards close to their chest about attention or reputation or news. As the Knight of Pentacles is offering help to the Pisces or Capricorn reversed, no longer inspecting every inch. Up early, the Emperor reversed, with the Page of Wands pushing the King of Cups reversed out of bed. Not talking about sad memories or longing of lover offered by offering big love to the King of Cups reversed. The lover or Gemini with the Ten of Pentacles, dysfunctional family, business, or community, is coming clean here, with the Hermit missing their flame, in great pain or ending pain, free for exposure of kids or pets, dependents no longer obsessing like in the past. Leo or kids may be looking back at the Page of Wands and facing their fears of being inspired, or on vacation taking it's like being on vacation and taking like extra challenges. Like it's that energy of just needing to be busy all the time because you won't allow yourself to feel your feelings. So people on vacation taking on challenges again, also can be people trying to face their fears, right? So constantly doing that. And that was coming up in extreme engagement as well. But afraid to start over, or the Page of Wands defending their new start. And soon for the twins is the Five of Swords upright, where the frog is growing into the prince and stretching, receiving a big offer or a payoff by Taurus or Hierophant under the radar, or perhaps cash under the table, perhaps for kids or a negative past, a falling out, ending pain or betrayal, or this could be a pain in the ass. And then the Chariot upright, boldly moving through the dark night without peace, and the heartache imprisoned by the King of Wands in the 5D connection, with Cancer upright and Scorpio upright needing attention from him, and the twin flames seeing themselves as the Two of Swords reversed, clear with new information, and the Queen of Swords suddenly sharing or epiphanizing about the equity here, or the equality, the poor decisions and injustice of Aquarius and Libra both reversed, and the Queen of Wands reversed with the whole world upside down, or Divine Feminine 5D, or Pisces reversed, imprisoned, or with anxiety. With Scorpio upright, Aquarius, Libra, and Pisces reversed. At 840 is the dance of manifestation and the 40 of the Page of Cups. With true love, children, that yes, they're affecting your love life, and retreat. Around the twins is the Alchemy card reversed in losing patience or fallen angel, as the King of Swords reversed in a split, or divided, or lying, needing clarity, strong taming the beast in dumping a load, their burdens or responsibilities, to receive passionate growth from the synchronicities that they're seeing. The block is the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with the Page of Swords upright and the Knight of Swords reversed, standing up and holding their tongue at the same time, with new information for the Queen of Pentacles reversed in separation. With love, partnership, and music, the injustice of the fallen angel, or Libra and Saggy both reversed, but even more so here is manifestation and health. The Six of Swords is reversed in need of peace, and the Empress is upright with the wounded warrior surrendering, and the fallen angel, or Sagittarius, or perhaps there are two Sagittariuses here, with the Knight of Cups reversed and the Temperance card reversed, maybe jealous fallen angel, and the King of Swords reversed at the workplace with a lot of energy and no one to receive their energy. Starting over in love, in need of peace, and destined Libra upright out in the cold or out in the heat, and heart came up again, out of the heart. In exile, injury, or illness, or coming out of this, and the Divine Mask coming out of the Batcave into his vulnerabilities in energetic exchange with the King of Pentacles, or the Akashic Records, destined to receive passionate offer from their secret passion at 848, the dance and the walking away and within, the leafing. Destined to end pain and come together with clarity about losing patience, waiting for the Chariot to arrive with love, and challenged by rest or laying something to rest. The frog stretching to be the prince, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, detoxing with no peace. The Hermit Queen of Pentacles reversed in the Mary Magdalene cave, while the Sweetheart Divine Masculine reversed with the Page of Cups reversed, rejecting them to be in energetic exchange with the King of Pentacles. The Queen of Swords with Cancer in her chart, and the Page of Wands Libra in a painful end or ending pain, the Divine Feminine within the Masculine ascending in the Chariot to lead the way, coming together exuding love, and challenged by the Four of Swords, rest and relaxation, or R&R, of sleep and 5D connection, and detoxing at the same time, for clarity and decisions, facing fears and stretching, losing patience or temper with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, needing peace or alone time, unable to wake the Divine Masculine's heart, so now they're pushing them out of bed in a rejection, forcing vulnerability in energetic exchange with the King of Pentacles. At 855, the dance of the truth of Excalibur. All right, so let's just pull a few quick cards here to sum everything up. I want to pull the Wild Unknown Animal Guidebook, the Oracles. See what comes up for you guys. What is our takeaway from the read today? What is the takeaway? Came right up, the rabbit. And the rabbit's the one who's scared. So it's all about facing your fears. And there's the hummingbird whispering in their ear. And there is the cobra. When the student is ready, the teacher will come. And they're very focused. It's very masculine. And then we have the owl here as well, the wise counsel. The bottom of the deck is the dolphin, who's in that beautiful, compassionate energy. They're always clear everywhere they go. It's that kind of just naturally high vibe energy. And beneath the dolphin is the camel, who's blue. And this is coming up as the misunderstood mother, because she's coming up in indigo energy of the dark mother and blue. And this is coming up as the camel, right, who's very independent and yet blue. And yet comes through as this compassionate energy of Mother Mary. And then we have this energy here. It's like they are the energy of these wise teachers over here. They don't have to say a word, right? It's like telepathic communication, where they're not saying a word and the bunny just is calm because they just feel their energy coming through and they get whispered messages, but they don't get scared. And so there may be someone meeting some ETs. There may be some kind of ET exposure here to a child. And this can even reference nature. Maybe the nature is coming across some ETs in order for the creatures to get used to them being around before they come and expose themselves to the humans. And this can also literally be a snake and an owl, you know, kind of hovering over and watching the other little animals and sending them telepathic messages here. Very interesting. Okay, what else do I want to pull for you? I'm being guided to the shaman dreams. Let's see. So what's going on with the bunny getting messages from the teachers? Maybe someone's name is Bonnie as well is coming up. What is the takeaway here? Number 5 is coming up again. Closing the door, completion here. The 5 is expansion and change and freedom. And that came up in the read today as well. This is the divine feminine energy of the green moth balancing on one foot, right? Kind of straddling both worlds. The 9 of the hermit and the balancing act. As the door closes completely to go into the new, and you notice these two cards come together as 59, which is the war within. Closing the door on the old, the war within. And then there's the 16 of the sudden event that's been coming up like crazy, along with the destiny card. Like really powerful energies coming up. That's time to replenish. And the energy of the Page of Cups, of that pure innocent love in a group think, right? Coming together and allowing everyone's perspectives. The bottom of the deck is the horned cactus, who's very resourceful like the camel. They're very dry though. There's no emotion or moisture there. The 29 is the 3 of Wands, being present in the moment to their energies and their gifts. And very resourceful in the most extreme of circumstances. And that's after the wailing tree, right? That's very dry too, right? They used to be green and lots of water in the tree. And now they're all dried out. It's the inner, it's the war within, the 59. And it's like the struggling tree that becomes very potent because they survived in the most unlikely places. That's the same energy of the adrenochrome and related to the olive trees that grow in Africa where they shouldn't grow, and the pine trees that grow in northern Canada where they shouldn't grow. Again, they grow this very important, very potent oils or whatever ingredient is in them that wouldn't have happened otherwise if they hadn't learned to grow in this undesirable environment, which you have gone through. And now you're closing the door on the old, knowing that you can survive anything. You've learned how to alchemize the negative into the positive. I'm going to read you a Journey of Love card too, because I haven't done that much this week. The Journey of Love. It's very much about closing the door on the old. And I was getting to that July 31st was the end of the old. The end of the old. All right, and you have the King of Pentacles, which came up so much in this read. It's like in every deck. The breaking. And this is the smashing in of the masculine and feminine within the vortex, like just crashing into each other. And the crashing, again, came up with CERN. So this is coming up around CERN as well. And within nothing, there is everything. So again, both, the extremes, and then bringing up the opposites, the perfect complements, and then bringing them to the middle. And this is also referencing the womb of the earth. Within nothing, there is everything. You may see nothing, but this may be an ultrasound, where you don't see much, and then all of a sudden, there is something there. It just depends on the vibration that you're seeing it in. And then we have the Mary Magdalene energy of the 41, knowing without knowing, carrying the weight of the world, right? The Hercules taking the weight off of the shoulders of the Atlas energy because of love, self-love, spiritual love, and new love. Even if you don't know, you know. And then the Swan of the Swan template as well, the 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the humble, loyal servant. The masculine and the feminine, okay? Something in the way she moves. That's coming up now. And then these two cards come up next, the Earth Angel and Gifts Received. So again, seeing maybe your gifts are being elevated and you're seeing more orbs. You're seeing more, and again, this always comes up as it's easier to see orbs in the contrast of nature than it is in the sky, right? Because there's more contrast. But again, this rainbow blanket that's being pulled over the earth, the Page of Swords of the message, and the 13 of the transition, of the gifts being received. And the coming together in the community, the 5 of the communal dance. And again, hovering around the community egg here, which is pure white light, that innocence of the group think with purity, where everyone has an equal say and everyone's open to each other's different perspectives. And then the contemplation here of the underlying energy of the 69, which is the Page of Pentacles, of that offer of time, money, and energy, or new life, and that deep contemplation of what you really want. The Earth Fire of the One of the Magician, and what's magical for you. That's that Christ light here within the heart unfolding, right? The aqua rose gold heart. There's that Christ energy coming through the rose gold heart. And what is it that truly inspires you? What is true to your heart that you want to offer all your time, money, and effort to? So again, these are the two underlying energies, the horned cactus and contemplation, being very resourceful when it's very dry and there's no emotions, when you're not feeling any emotions, and then struggling with what you feel because you're not feeling anything right now. And again, coming up with the first cards out together is the closing of the door. The closing of the door of the old, and the awakening to the breaking within the vortex, coming in together with the King of Pentacles there, which is mastering of manifestation of the union. So let's go ahead and read that one. The 65. You are breaking apart. You may not understand it at all. There's not so much to be understood, but the simplicity doesn't mean it's easy to endure. You may worry that you're going too far, that you may never recover or ever come back together again. But what can you do? Can you hold back from the divine love that calls you, that lures you to becoming all that you are, to remembering your divine nature? Well, you could try, but for what purpose? Temporary rest before the storm is best. So take the rest if you need it and then dive into the storm. Let yourself be brokenhearted by the divine so that you can become your truth, become all that you're meant to be. It is better to have the heart broken so that it grows than to be brokenhearted by thinking that you must protect yourself from love. This oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness or anger, despair, or frustration you may feel, you're being pulled apart not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine as it strips you of that which would keep you from your divine realization. Let go and break. It's going to be the making of you. And the poem is called Love. Love is a special closeness that sings from the heart, that warms my days and nights, that feels good. It makes me smile. It makes me glad to be alive. And the next page is come together right now over me. So that's coming up again with the Beatles. Okay? All right, guys. Remember the water, remember the sleep, the joy, the nature. Remember to follow your own instincts. There's nothing wrong with getting advice, but follow your own intuition. Trust your own knowing. Rise and be loved, love and rise, and I'll see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.